Hello children, welcome back to the class. So today we are going to deal with a new unit that is E-generation, where E means electronic generation. Now children, many of you all know how to use a system, how to use a mobile. Okay, you know how to use iPod, you know how to use a tab. Means more than your parents, you know well how to use it. Am I right children? If the parent has any doubt that how to use this tab or that application and that, you are ever ready to go and teach them. No papa, it is the way how we have to click here. If you go here, means you are like, you can teach them with a great ease. Means you know well, much more well about more than that your parents, right? So here in the same way we have a small lesson in this unit, that is the five chums and the hacker. Okay, so let us, before moving forward, let us know what is the meaning of five chums. It is pronounced as chums, chums. Chums means close friends. Once again I repeat children, chums means close friends. Okay, so like we can say pulse also, pals, pulse. It is also used to tell the close friends, chums. Okay, and coming to this word, I hope most of you may be knowing what is the meaning of this hacker, right? So what do you mean by hacker? It's like a person who works on a computer network without permission, right? Means a person, he hacks other IDs, right? So you, in that way, it is a person who works on a computer network without permission. For them we call them as a hacker. Okay, so here five friends, okay, and the hacker. So by maybe by the lesson only you can understand that five friends are there who is going to find this hacker. Like it can be, I can tell that it is a kind of an investigation story, a CID like story. Okay, so you may have you will have a lot of fun children when you hear this story. But the main thing is many difficult words are being used here. Before that, just we'll have a look on certain words. So before starting the lesson children, we have certain main characters. It is just a thing that I just wanted to tell you, that what all things may come across while reading the lesson. Okay, so here the main character is Aunt Stephanie. Okay, Aunt Stephanie. She is an old lady, Aunt Stephanie, and the name of the five chums, five friends. What I said. Okay, close friends. One is Bill, the next Noddy, then Basanti, Arya, Nishat. Okay, these are the five friends. Then Aunt Stephanie fainted. Fainted means who become unconscious. Okay, like chakkara, okay, girna, whatsoever we call it as. Okay, so Aunt Stephanie fainted in Subramaniam's flat. Flat, I hope you all know it. So Subramaniam's flat. Then habit of Aunt Stephanie. Habit means what? See, you people also will be having your own habits. Okay, means it can be of like a hairs moment, it can be something you keep on telling, or certain things will be having. Okay, in the same way, Aunt Stephanie had a very habit like muttering always. Muttering means speaking something continuously. She keeps on speaking in a low tone. Means it is not talking to someone else, talking to herself in a very low tone. It's called as a muttering. Okay, that was her habit. Always she used to do that. Then meeting place in the attic. Here all the five chums, they meet in a attic. So what is an attic first? Let us see. Children, maybe nowadays house where you are living, maybe you may not see such kind of attics and all, but if you go to villages and all, you may find such kind of house where attics are there. Okay, attic is what you call, nothing but is a room or a space at the top of the building, just below the roof. Okay, a roof will be there, and below the roof another what you call a ceiling will be there. Between that a kind of room what you call a room will be there. Okay, it is called as an attic. Okay, you can ask your what you call parents and all, if they are having in a village and all, almost we find such kind of attics. Okay, then problem with the computer is virus. See, virus we have heard in a different way, right? As now as it is a common word for this coronavirus. Okay, but this is not that kind of virus. Okay, so actually virus can be defined as it's a microscopic organism able to cause diseases. Okay, it's an organism. okay, living thing. But here in the computer also we use this word virus because they damage the working system of the what do you call computer, okay. So we can say that it's a software program loaded onto the computer without the owner's knowledge, user's knowledge. It's unknowingly it happens. That's the reason, children, when you are using in the what you call schools and all, you will not be allowed to use pen drives, okay, because they say na it may virus may attack the system, so it may cause damage to the system. So maybe you might have heard from your computer teacher this word virus, okay. Virus it is having the same meaning, but here it attacks the system and the body also it attacks in the form, and you may create a disease, okay. The work is the same. It is here what do you call, it is damaging the system, there it is damaging the body, in that way it is, okay. So these are the things that you may come across when I am going to read the story, okay. And now let us have a look on these difficult words. Yes, I am just going to read it out, children, for you, because when the lesson is being read, there you come across such kind of words, then you should know what is the meaning of that particular word, okay. So reasoning means, see, sometimes when something is asked to you, okay, or if you are giving any if you are blaming someone, for example I'm telling you, okay, if you are blaming someone or if you are telling that he is a victim and all, but you should have a what you call a proper reasoning, then why it is. For example, in the class, okay, the teacher asks you to pick up your favorite monitor, okay, then when you pick up your favorite monitor, you should have a reason that why you have picked that person, a reasoning, okay, it's called as a reasoning, the process by which you reach a conclusion after thinking about all the facts. Sobbed is nothing but cry noisily. Sobbed, sobbing, okay. Sob is the word actually, and it is a past tense of sob. Sobbed is nothing but cry noisily. Ought to, used to express duty, means which you have to do compulsory, okay, or moral obligations. Fiddling is to act dishonestly in order to get something for yourself, means you do something wrong thing just because you wanted to have that, okay, it is called as fiddling, or to change something dishonestly, especially to your advantage, okay. Engrossed means you are completely involved in that, to occupy completely. If you for example, it happens, right, children, you will be watching something in the TV and your mother from the kitchen keeps on calling you, and you will not do it purposely, okay, means you might have not heard her calling, just because you were engrossed in watching that particular program which you are watching in the TV, right. It is called as engrossed, means your what you call mind, your full body will be to the place the work what you were doing, okay. It is called as engrossed, okay. Means to occupy completely as a mind or attention observe, okay. So hacker, already I had told you, one who attempts to gain unauthorized access to other people's computer systems, okay. See, now we have fumbling means to do something awkwardly, especially when using your hands, okay. Something which does when the other person looks at you the way you are doing with the hands and all, maybe it looks awkward, okay, it's called as fumbling. Then sheer means complete or pure, we can see. Prank, this word you might have heard, children, prank, okay, you make what do you call plan to make your friends and all prank and all, okay. Practical joke or mischievous act, we can say. Thumped, thumped, thumped means to strike or beat with or as if with something thick or heavy so as to cause the dull sound, right. The thump is like this, a beating of the back, you can say. Then comes repentance. Repentance means sincere regret, means you feel sorry for what you have done. Sometimes it happens, right, children, you may have done some mistake and you may not realize, but when someone will tell you that, okay, it is, if you have done this in this way, it must be correct, then if you feel sorry for what you have done, it's called as repentance, okay. Sincere regret. Fainted, as I have told you, lose consciousness for a short time. Chakkar ana, okay. Overheard is something, children, when for example, if your friend is talking to someone else and he or she doesn't know that you are hearing that, it is called as overheard, okay. Hear something without the knowledge of the speaker. So here your speaker is your friend. Your friend is speaking to someone else, and you are standing somewhere else, and you are hearing what they are speaking. Okay, it is the what is called as overheard. Plump means strong. Heaving means breathe fastly. Means when you are in a tension or when you run, obviously, right? When you go for a race, running race, okay, after coming back, you start heaving. Heaving is nothing but breathe fastly, and it happens with the old people also when they are tensed. Okay, it is called as heaving or breathe fastly. Thrashing means hitting someone repeatedly. It's like a beating. I should say another word, that is beating nicely. Okay, it's called as thrashing. Then comes muttering. Already I had told you what is the meaning of muttering. So speak in a low tone continuously. Okay, it is called as muttering. Attic also I had told you, room or space at the top of the building just below the roof. Chums, done. Already close friends. Okay, lounged. Lounged means sit or relaxed. Okay, stunned. Stunned means speechless or shocked. Investigation means, I hope you all know what is investigation. It happens usually with when you are, if you are have the habit of watching CIDs and all. Okay, investigate, they means to know the what you call the murderer and all, they start investigating. Okay, it's called as investigation, to collect the what you call information and all, search for the truth. Emphatically, in a forceful way. Visitors guessed. Threatened means to scarify, to bully, to make them someone afraid. It's called as threatened. Narrow, of a small width or slim. Okay, robe is like a long loose outer garment, okay, which you wear on your around your neck, we can, or in the hand. It's like a what do you call outer garment, okay, a long loose. Worse, a more serious, very bad, we can say, okay, or unpleasant event. Now, children, I just want you to keep your book in front of you, and first, as you always do, I will just go with the model reading. Okay, listen to me carefully, and you have to practice the same in your house. Okay, so shall we start? Five chums and the hacker. The phone was ringing, but Bill ignored. She was busy at her computer developing a new program. The ringing stopped. Just as Bill's ear were getting used to the silence, it started again. The call was from Nishat. Bill, Nishat's high pitched voice shot out of the receiver. Come right down. Aunt Stephanie has just fainted in Mr. Subramaniam's flat. He has rung up 24 ambulances. Basanti overheard. Her eyes became round. Who? What? Sorry, said Bill. You don't know all these people yet. Never mind, just come. On reaching the scene of action, they found that Aunt Stephanie, a plump, ever smiling woman, was heaving and thrashing about. Muttering under her breath, when others tried to walk her to the waiting ambulance, she screamed. It took her neighbors a full 10 minutes to get her into the ambulance. The next day was Sunday. In the attic, the meeting place of the five chums, the children lounged around. What do you think has happened to her? Said Nishat. She might have just received some bad news, like losing all her savings, said Arya. Or a friend, said Nishat. Her life, said Basanti quietly. How do you know? Asked Nishat. She kept saying, he will get me, he will get me. Everybody was stunned. After a long discussion, they began their investigation with the gatekeeper. Had any strange men been visiting Aunt Stephanie lately? None, said the gatekeeper emphatically. Next, the five chums questioned Mr. and Mrs. Bose, who stayed next door. Did you hear anything disturbing? No, said the Boses. I think we have learned one thing, that the threat came by phone, said Basanti. How do you know? She did not go out, nor did she have any visitors. Suddenly, she rushed to the opposite flat and fainted. Someone must have threatened her over the phone. Excellent reasoning, said Arya. Let's visit Aunt Stephanie and ask her. In the narrow bed, in the strange robe, lay Aunt Stephanie. There were dark circles under her eyes. Auntie, asked Bill in a gentle voice, Are you worried about something? Large tears rolled down her cheeks. Someone, she sobbed, is watching me all the time. He says he will kill me. Oh, I'm so scared. Mrs. Stephanie then told the children that someone was keeping a close watch on her. This person knew all the details like what she cooked, what she said to whom, and even what she thought. The children were shocked. What's worse? Said Mrs. Stephanie. He rings me up to tell me what all he knows about me. Only the other day I wrote to my son for some money. The next day the call came. The voice, asked me what I was going to do with all that money. Wept Aunt Stephanie. Perhaps someone is reading your mail, Noddy put in. But I did not send a letter, I sent an email. How can someone know that what she thinks? Said Noddy. I think, said Bill, we ought to take a look around Aunt Stephanie's flat. The flat had a warm, comfortable, welcoming look. What is Bill doing? Said Noddy. You're not fiddling with the computer, are you? But Bill was deeply engrossed in Aunt Stephanie's computer. Others looked on, then moved away to do their own search. Just then Bill gave a shout. I have got it! What? Shouted everyone. But Bill suddenly put a finger on her lips. She got up, searched for the main switch of the computer, and switched it off. Then she said, I have found a virus called SysDTexC in Aunt Stephanie's computer. What does that mean? Said Nishat. It means, said Bill, that someone has infected this computer with a virus. With its help, he can read all the email messages that Aunt Stephanie sends and receives. The virus can start the microphone too. So the hacker was hearing what all that Aunt Stephanie said. He then traced her phone number and started calling her up. But what about the things she thinks? She said Noddy. Oh, that's easy, said Arya. Aunt Stephanie mutters all the time. The microphone picked up some of it. Everyone thumped Bill on her back. The mystery is solved, tra la la, sang Nishat. Arya protested. Hey, hold on. What are we going to do about the hacker? Oh, there's a way to catch him, said Basanti. We will catch him in his own trap. Listen. They all, including Aunt Stephanie, agreed. The next morning, they all sat around the computer scripts, ready in a hand. From the bank, ma'am, said Arya in a salesman-like voice. You called up for money at your doorstep service. Oh, yes, thanks, said Aunt Stephanie. Just leave it there on the table, will you? Yes, ma'am, said Arya. Noddy opened and closed the door loudly. Auntie now muttered under her breath, Now, let me see. I must get some almonds for the chocolate cake. Oh, the money. I will keep it away later. Oh, I am late for the church. Where are the keys? Never mind. I will just shut the door tight. I am late already. So late. Auntie let her voice fade away. Noddy opened and closed the door. After a few minutes, Bill switched off the computer. 2 hours later, the doorbell rang. At once, they all rose and took position behind door and furnitures. The knob turned. Hesitant steps were heard crossing the floor to the table on which lay a thick brown paper packet. There was a sound of tearing of paper. Sorry, Pearl, only old newspapers cutting there, said Bill. The stranger was startled. The packet with which he was fumbling fell down. He wanted to run away but was surrounded by the 5 chums. The boy who stood facing them was a little older than Arya. He was sweating. We know what you wanted, said Bill. Do you know hacking into other people's computers is a crime? By then, Aunt Stephanie had joined them. She was looking at the boy with unbelieving eyes. You are even younger than my grandson, she whispered. Why do you want to kill me? The boy hung his head. With a trembling voice, he confessed, I'm sorry, madam, but believe me, I did not want to kill you. I had hacked your account for sheer fun. I had never thought my prank could harm you this much. Please forgive me. With these words, the boy broke down. Tears of guilt and repentance rolled down his cheeks. Aunt Stephanie rose and put a hand on the boy's shoulder. My child, I don't know you are, but I forgive you. And I pray that whenever you wish to do anything bad or unkind, God guides you and stops you from being bad. So maybe you must have understood a bit when I was reading the story. So let us just have a look what the story means. Yes. So here already I have told you the meaning of the five chums, that is the close friend and the hacker. Okay. So when Bill was sitting with a system, so the Bill, she was just working on her system one fine day, and suddenly the what do you call, the phone bell rings. Okay, the phone was ringing, but Bill ignored because she was busy with her work in the system. So she thought, okay, it's okay, it will ring and it will stop off. So she was busy at her computer developing a new program. The ringing then stopped. Then it was a silence again. Then again, what happened? Again, the bell ringing started. Then she went and picked up the call. And from the other side, it was her friend Nishat. As I had already told that these were the five friends, and Nishat is also one of her friend. Okay. And from the other side, it was Nishat who was speaking to her. And she said in a very high tone, telling that, come down immediately, come right down. Aunt Stephanie has just fainted in Mrs. Subramaniam's flat. She said to her friend Bill, telling her that just immediately come down because Aunt Stephanie has fainted in Mrs. Subramaniam's flat. Then beside her, Basanti was standing over there because as Nishat was speaking so loudly, she was able to hear what she was saying. It happens, children, whenever your parents' mobile also is, sometimes you can hear what they are speaking. We all know, okay, nowadays system and all. So the same thing was happening there, and Nishat was a bit louder there. So Basanti, who was standing beside her, was also able to hear. But when she heard, her eyes became like in a large size. Then she suddenly asked, who, what happened? Okay, then Bill told her, you don't worry about it, you don't know about these people and all, you just come with me. And they both went down to at the place where Aunt Stephanie had fainted. So on reaching the scenes of action, they found that Aunt Stephanie, plump, she was a very strong lady and ever smiling lady. Okay, that kind of lady was heaving, as I told you already, that heaving means uttering something, telling with a great difficulty. Okay, she was breathing very fast, and thrashing means her hands and all, she was just moving in such a way that she was feeling completely tensed. And she was muttering also, as it is her habit always. Okay, as I told you that she always keeps on muttering under her breath. When others try to walk to her, everyone just holded her hand, and they were taking her to the ambulance. Okay, and again there she started screaming when she saw the ambulance. And after 10 minutes, however, the neighbors and all, they just tried to put her into the ambulance. Okay, this was the first scene. Next scene, the second number is given, it's the second scene. Okay, the next day was Sunday, and in the attic, the meeting place of the five chums. So now the lady was in the hospital, and now these five chums, they met in the attic just to think that what might have happened, right? So here the next day was Sunday. In the attic, the meeting place of the five chums, the children lounged around. They just sat and they started speaking to each other. What do you think has happened to her? Said Nishat. So Nishat asked her to everyone, what has happened suddenly to Miss Aunt Stephanie? Why is she behaving like that? What happened to her? That was the question asked by Nishat. Then One says, Arya says that maybe she might have heard any bad news that of losing all her savings. Savings means which is in the bank, okay, the amount and all. Maybe she got a bad news telling that she has lost all her savings. And Nishat says that maybe a friend, means one of her friend, she might have lost one of her friend. Then finally, Basanti says very silently, telling that maybe her life. Okay, her life. Okay. Then Nishat asked, how do you know? Then she says that, did you hear? She was always muttering that he will get me, he will get me. So this was what she was keeping on telling Aunt Stephanie. So with that help, with that clue only, Basanti said that maybe someone is scaring her for her life, that he or she is going to kill her. So this is what the reasoning Basanti gave to her friends. Then everybody was stunned, means they were shocked, they were speechless. And they had a discussion and all that, this and all, and they started, okay, let us go for an investigation, let us just check out. Then first thing was they went to the gatekeeper. Gatekeeper is a person who, I hope you know, okay, they are the person who keeps an eye of who is coming in, who is going out and all. So they went and asked first to the gatekeeper. Then they asked him, had any strange men been visiting Aunt Stephanie's lately? Lately means within 2-3 days, few days or what? They asked the gatekeeper, has any strange man coming to her house or what? Then the gatekeeper said it emphatically, suddenly that, no one has, I haven't seen any person going to her house. Then it was clear that no person had come to her house. Then they went to the neighbor, Aunt Stephanie's neighbor, that is Mr. and Mrs. Bose. Then they asked them, sir, did you hear any disturbing, like something, if it is like a ghar mein kuch chori, means if any what you call theft is going on, noises comes out, right? So they asked Mr. Bose, was there any noise and all, when did you hear any noise from her house or what? Even they too told the same thing. No, it was all quite fine, no noise, nothing. And now who Basanti, she gave the proper reasoning, telling that now it's clear that the threat has come over the phone, because no person has come into her house, nothing has happened, no sound was there in the house. It is clean and clear that the theft has come from the house. Okay, so she says, I think we have learnt one thing, that the threat came by phone, said Basanti. Then obviously everyone asked, how do you know? See, she did not go out. She says it in the same way, okay. She did not go out, nor did she have any visitors. Suddenly she rushed to the opposite flat and fainted. Someone must have threatened over her phone. That is what she gives a reason there. Then everyone says, excellent reasoning, said Arya. Arya gives a reason. Said Arya says that, wow, very brilliant Basanti, you means the way you think, it was very perfect. Then they all spoke, okay, let us just go and talk to Aunt Stephanie Rao. They all went to the hospital now, and she was lying on the narrow bed. So in a narrow bed with a strange robe lay Aunt Stephanie. There were dark circles under her eyes. Auntie, asked Bill in a gentle voice, are you worried about something? Then Bill asked her, what happened, Aunt? What happened to you suddenly? Then she started crying. She started crying noise, what do you call, with a noise, making noise and all. Then she says that someone is watching me. Someone is watching me all the time. He says he will kill me. Oh, I am so scared, she says. She utters in front of these 5 chums. I don't know who is watching me, but someone is watching me, and he keeps on telling me that he is going to kill me. And I am really scared of that, she says. Mrs. Stephanie then told the children that someone was keeping a close watch on her eyes on her. This person knew all details, like what she cooked, what she said to whom, and even what she thought. So she said, he knows each and everything. Whatever I think, he comes to know. To whomever I speak, he comes to know. And whatever I am cooking, that also he comes to know. But I don't know how, but he is watching me, she says. And the children were shocked. What's worse? said Mrs. Stephanie. He rings me. One more thing, the bad thing is that he calls me over to my phone number, she says, and tells me that he's going to kill me. And the next day, only the other, and one more thing is that one day other day, I wrote, and she says that the other day, she had written a letter to her son and asked for some money. Even that also he came to know. She says, the next day the call came and he asked me, telling that what I will do with those money. This was a question asked by him, and she started crying. Perhaps someone is reading your email, Noddy put in. The Noddy said, I think someone is reading your emails, he says. But I did not send a letter, I sent an email. She says clearly that I had not sent any letter to him. I just sent the email. How can someone know what she thinks? Said Noddy. Okay, maybe he might not, what do you call, he has come to know that what the email was sent. Okay, but how can one say that what she is thinking also? That is what he says. I think, said Bill, we ought to take a look around Aunt Stephanie's flat. Then Bill said, okay, chalo, we'll just have a look at all the side of the Aunt Stephanie's house, and just go and just watch it out. Then when they had in the third scene, what happened, they had went near her house, and they saw everywhere, and it was, the flat had a warm, comfortable, welcoming look. Then what is Bill doing? As when others were busy when searching for the things and all, Bill was sitting near the system, and she was so busy doing some work in Aunt Stephanie's system. What is Bill doing? Said Noddy. You're not fiddling with computer, are you? Fiddling means, as I told you, that I don't think so you're doing something dishonest thing to get something for you. In that way, he asked her. And he spoke up, and but she did not listen to them, and she was completely engrossed. I had told you already, children, what is the meaning of engrossed? Okay, to be completely keep your mind, soul, body to the same thing means completely with the concentration that you are not able to hear what people are speaking nearby you. Okay, it is called as engrossed. In Aunt Stephanie's computer, others looked down. Everyone was just looking into the system, and they said, okay, she's busy with something else. Chalo, we'll search for the thing and all. Then moved away to do their own search. Just then, Bill gave a shout. She shouted, yes, I have got it. Then everyone at a time they asked, what? What did you get? But Bill suddenly put a finger on her lips. I hope you can guess, children, why did she put a finger on her lips? Because it was told clearly that whatever Stephanie used to say, even he was able to hear. But now if she says what she has come to know, and if she speaks in front of the friend, even that also the hacker will come to know, right? For that reason, she kept her finger on her lips. Then she got up. Then what she did is she went and switched off the main switch of the computer. And then she said, I have found a virus called Sysdetectc in Aunt Stephanie's computer. So there is a virus in Aunt Stephanie's computer, she says. Then someone asked, what is that? What does that mean? Said Nishat. It means, said Bill, that someone has infected this computer with a virus. With its help, he can read all the email messages that Aunt Stephanie sends and receives. So because of that virus, the hacker he can easily, see what all the emails is sent and received by Aunt Stephanie, she says. Then the virus can start the microphone too. And not only that, even the virus has that power that it can on the microphone. Microphone, I hope you all know what is a microphone, right, children? So the hacker was hearing all that aunt said. He then traced her phone number and started calling her up. So this was the thing what he has done. But what about the things she thinks? Said Noddy. Oh, that's easy, said Arya. Because why it's easy? Because she always used to mutter, right? Whatever she was doing, she used to keep on telling. Because of that, only the microphone has taken that words. Aunt Stephanie mutters all the time. The microphone picked up some of it. Everyone thumped, like we'll say na shabash at the back. They just thumped at the back of Bill. Then the mystery is solved. Someone says, tra la la, said, sang Nishat. So Nishat was very happy because the mystery was solved. Arya protested. Then she said, wait, wait, wait. Then he says, hey, hold on. What are we going to do about the hacker? That was the question asked. Okay, chalo, however, we have planned, but let us make some plan, something to do with this hacker. Then, oh, there's a way to catch him, said Basanti. Then Basanti also gave an idea. We will catch him in his own trap. Listen. Then they all, including Aunt Stephanie, agreed. Now they had a plan to do, and it was ready by the next day. The next morning, they all sat around the system, computer, scripts ready in their hand. Script means like it's like what do you call to make a fool of the hacker. They had prepared some script simply to give a talk and all. Okay, in that way. Then actually it's now Arya speaking, telling him, and he is introducing that he is a from the bank. Okay, from the bank. Ma'am, said Arya in a salesman like voice. So someone enters the Stephanie's house, and Arya say means it is not Arya according to, because the hacker is listening over the microphone. Okay, so he did not say that he is Arya. He just told that I am from the bank, ma'am, and you called up for our money at your doorstep service. Oh yes, thanks, said Aunt Stephanie. Just leave it there on the table, because she means it was all acting, children. This part, the fourth part, what I am reading now, the fourth scene, it is not which has happened in reality. They were just acting to catch the hacker. Okay, means they were all in that room itself, but as we know that the microphone was able to catch what you call whatever they're speaking. For that reason they were just acting. Okay, so it was just act. Even Arya was also in the same room, Noddy was also in the same room, Bill, they were in the same. Even Stephanie was also in the same room, and Arya he just spoke to her telling that I am like it's like acting. Okay, from bank, ma'am, like in that way, right? Then he says that you called up for money at your step service. Oh yes, thanks, she said, from as if she was too busy. She said in that way. Oh yes, yes, thanks, said Aunt Stephanie. Just leave it on that it on there on the table, will you please? In that way she said. Okay, kiddo, I'm a bit busy. You just keep it on the table, she said from there. Then he says, yes, ma'am, said Arya, because he was from outside now, and in the microphone they should hear as if someone has entered from outside. And okay, for that reason what they did, they just simply to make him fool, they just opened the door and then closed it as if to show to make a sound of the person that he has gone out. Okay, then auntie was now muttered under her breath. So as it was an acting, they just what do you call? They were inside the room itself, but they made a showcase telling as if in the microphone the hacker should listen as if the door was opened and the bank person has moved out of the room. Then, as we all know that auntie has the habit of muttering, and then she started muttering, telling that now let me see, I must get some almonds for the chocolate cake. Means it's a muttering. Okay, in that way she keeps on telling, okay, now I'm going to make the chocolate cake and all. Then she says, oh, the money, I will keep it away later. Oh, I'm late for the church. Where are the keys? Never mind, I will just shut the door tight. I'm late already, so late. Auntie let her voice fade away. See this part, what I read right now, children, it is like she is just making it, it's like an act. Okay, she is telling, first she said that about the chocolate cake, then she said, oh my god, money is there on the table. Then she says to herself, telling that okay, it's okay, I will take it afterwards. Then she says that I am late for the church, now I had to go for the go to church. And she acts as if she is finding the keys, and then she says that I don't know where I kept the keys, I have forgotten. Okay, who will come to my house? And she says to herself, telling that okay, I'll just shut the door tight and I'll just move out, who will come to my house. In that way she says it purposely, as according to the script, what was the dialogue given to her, and she as if again the door opens and she moves out. In that way she doesn't really, in reality doesn't move out, but it's like an act. Okay, And these all things were heard by who? Hacker. Now he thinks that no one is at the home, and on the table that money cover is there, and now and he also know that the door is not locked, so he can enter the room and he can pick up the money. And then 2 hours later, after 2 hours, the doorbell rang. First, the hacker, what he did, from the bell he rang, outside he rang. Then at once they all rose and took position behind the doors and furniture. So everyone, all the 5 chums and were now ready. It was like a time to attack the hacker. Okay, the knob, okay, it turned. Hesitant steps were heard crossing the floor to the table on which lay a thick brown paper packet. He went to his desk. The hacker came inside. He just looked around. No one was there. He went near the table, picked up that cover of money, right, and took it in his hand to open it. Suddenly, he hears the voice telling that there was a sound of tearing of paper. Sorry, Pal, only old newspapers cutting there, said Bill. Then Bill said that, oh my God, they are not money, they are just the paper cuttings. The stranger was startled. Stranger here means the hacker. Okay, he was shocked. Startled means shocked. The packet with which he was fumbling fell down. Means the hands like he was shivering and all, it just fell down. He wanted to run away but was surrounded by the 5 chums. The boy who stood facing them was a little older than Arya, and the hacker was not that elderly person, my dears. He was not even of 20 above. He was a small boy, just like an Arya. That's it. He was sweating. We know that what you wanted, said Bill. Do you know what hacking into other people's computer is a crime? She said. By then, Aunt Stephanie had joined them. She was looking at the boy with unbelieving eyes. She was just looking at that child, okay, at the hacker. Child means who was the victim there. And she says, "You are even younger than my grandson." मेरा पोते से भी बहुत छोटा है तो मीन्स you are still so younger, and she was like, you wanted to kill me? That is what she uttered. She whispered. The boy hung his head. Hung means with guilt, he kept his head down. With a trembling voice, he confessed. Confess means to tell of what actually happened. I'm sorry, madam, but believe me, I did not want to kill you. I had hacked your account for sheer fun. Nothing serious. I just was making it just for fun, but nothing else, he says. I had never been I never thought my prank could harm you this much. I was just pranking, but I don't know that you will face such kind of troubles and all, he says. Please forgive me. With these words, the boy broke down. Tears of guilt and repentance rolled down with his cheeks. He felt really sorry, and his tears started coming out. Aunt Stephanie rose and put a hand on boy's shoulder. My child, I don't know who you are, but I forgive you. And I pray that whenever you wish to do anything bad or unkind, God guides you and stops you from being bad. Then Aunt Stephanie, she went just to hold the boy up, and he said, see, I don't know who you are, okay, but I'll definitely forgive you. And even I pray to God that whenever in the future, if you are willing to do such crime and all, let God guide you that not to do this. That is what she prays, and she forgives him. This is what the story is all about, children. See, just for fun. Sometimes it happens, children, when we do some certain things for fun and it may take another route, okay. Something serious may happen to the people and all. So whenever you're pranking or making fun and all, just keep in your mind that the other person, okay, should not be harmed, health-wise or in any other way, right? That you have to keep in your mind. Okay, we have just a small thing to do over there. Notes and all, I'll be sending you. Don't worry about that. You can just write on this. It's actually in a jumbled way, and you have to put it in a proper sequence. Then first comes Nishat informs Bill that Mrs. Stephanie has fainted. Then the 5 chums have a meeting. Then the 5 chums visit Mrs. Stephanie. Then Basanti hits upon a plan to trap the hacker. Then we have the five chums make a plan. Then Mrs. Stephanie pretends to leave her flat. Pretends means act. Okay, as I told you, yes, she pretends means she acts. Okay, because the microphone was able to catch the words and all. Bill shuts off the computer. The culprit is caught. Okay, this is what. And this sticking and all. It took Mrs. Stephanie's neighbor a full 10 minutes to get her to the ambulance because she screamed when others tried to take her to the ambulance. The reason for Mrs. Stephanie worry was that she was afraid of someone would kill her. So I'll be sending the notes and all to your children, but listen to this 2-3 times, then only you may understand. Okay, if you would have been in the class and we would have acted the role plays and all. Thank you.